Hello Internet and welcome to Stochastic Plastic. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Power Rangers Super Megaforce Thundersaurus Megazord figure. And this is not the first time this figure has been released. This figure was initially released around the time of Power Rangers RPM in 2009. And at the time it was super hard to find. And has since just fallen into harder and harder to find land. But luckily for us, they decided to re-release it this year for Power Rangers Super Megaforce, which is pretty awesome because a lot of people didn't get the chance to get it last time. But this time again, it's still really hard to find for a lot of people. I got mine on Amazon for $12.99 plus shipping, which is pretty reasonable, I would say. But they only get like one in stock at a time. And so if you're trying to get this figure, you got to jump on it as soon as you can. Otherwise, you're gonna lose your chance again, because it seems like this Megazord figure line is kind of on its way out the door, unfortunately. I really enjoy these figures. I've got 15 of these figures, including this one, and I still don't have them all. There's at least one or two that just never even were actually released in the United States. So that's a little bit of the history of the figure, but let's just get in it and check it out. Okay, so here we have our Thundersaurus Megazord figure out of the packaging, and in a sort of battle pose, I would say, if he'll stay. And right off the bat, I really like this figure. It's very cool. The reason I have so many of these guys, of these Megazord figures, is because I really enjoy the styling. It's definitely taking some liberties with the design of the Megazords, but I like that a lot about it. These like massive shoulder pieces are really cool, and like the thin waist and the big old legs down here. They just make for a really interesting style of figurine, I think. Now, these Megazord figures used to be the Retrofire Megazord line, and they were notorious for having very bizarre articulation. This guy is not terrible, but he leaves a little bit to be desired. Usually on these figures, the legs are fine, and for this guy, his are totally cool. You got a full sort of ball joint and swivel at the hip, pivot at the knee, and a pivot at the foot with pretty good range for all sorts of fun, like knee out sort of poses. You can get a lot of stances with him. The drill arm just has a simple shoulder joint, nothing too complicated, goes up and down and rotates, and of course the drill arm itself rotates, which is to be expected. The head is on a very nice ball joint, get a lot of dynamic looking. He's got a waist swivel that is a little bit hindered by the pterosaur head on the crotch, but it is what it is. Where it falls apart a little bit is the right arm. This Triceratops arm only has shoulder articulation, a rotate and a pivot, and the rest is all just one solid piece. The whole arm is just one piece. And I really don't think it would have been that hard to put a joint, at least in here in the neck. That would have been great. Or anywhere. The elbow would be fine, but unfortunately they forgot to do that, I guess. And I also had a bit of a quality control problem with mine. The moment I opened it from the package the first time, it fell in half. It just split apart at the waist here. It seemed to be what I could figure out was that when this rubbery skirt flap part was put on, it wasn't put on all the way. So then when the top part was screwed on, it was broken as it was tightened down. And it wasn't a huge deal, but upon taking it apart, I could figure out what the problem was. The plastic spine, basically, that holds the bottom half to the top half, split completely. So I had to super glue the peg back into the inside. And for right now, it's still holding, which is awesome. But I'm being pretty delicate with it because of that. Other than that, though, this figure is really, really a fun collection piece to have. There are, I believe, a couple differences from the old version, which I never got, so I can't be sure. But I believe that only one side of the drill arm had the painted silver, but they've updated that and given it to both sides now. And this time around, the Triceratops arm is molded in blue plastic, whereas I think before it was black plastic, which doesn't really make any difference. Oh, and these shoulder pads are totally removable, as they are on most, if not all, of these Megazord figures. That's probably just about it for the Thundersaurus Megazord figure review. I definitely recommend it if you're a fan of this figure style, the Retrofire-esque style, or if you're a big fan of Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Definitely a good figure to grab if you're able to track it down. And with that, this has been Stochastic Plastic. If you enjoyed the review, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and do all those wonderful YouTube things. Take care and have a good day.